I'm Dr. KLAS with Pet Guided Insight, and I wanted to make a video example of a soul relationship map reading because they're really difficult to explain, as you've probably seen if you're looking through the website. It's hard to explain without having an experience. So I'm going to give you an experience. I'm going to try to make it short, although it is about me and my childhood cat, Key. She's my first soul relationship with an animal, and she's still teaching me so much. So there's a lot to go through, but I'm going to try not to go in depth, even though I know I'm going to be tempted because the normal reading takes about 90 minutes, and I don't think you want to sit here and watch a 90-minute video about my reading. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll walk you through what a reading is like using the example of me and my soul cat Key from when I was pretty young. I think in this photo I'm like 10 years old. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to go through the slides for reading, and I'm going to try to go through fairly quickly just to give you a taste of what a reading looks like, and not go too deep into the reading itself, in my case with Key. So what we see here is the personal coin, the soul map, that makes up the elements that make up the map between myself and Key, and you would get one of those for you and your animal. There are some helpful tips for experiencing the reading. You'll get this PDF ahead of time before we actually connect over Zoom. And there's a quick glossary on the Wheel of Fulfillment. Definitely check out the intro to the Wheel of Fulfillment if you haven't seen that already. Stop, go check that out, and then come back to this video. All right, the reading is divided into 4 levels. This is the first level, which is the realms, the elements of the soul map. And we go through the animal realm, which is what your animal is here to teach or guide you or help you remember. The bridge realm, which is the experiential realm and the core value of your relationship. The human realm external, so what you're learning from your animal in your relationship as your external self, and of course your internal self. And the spirit realm, which is the highest purpose of your relationship, or sort of the overarching theme, if you want to think of it that way. And then in the second part of our reading, we will go through the coins, which is the location on the map itself. So you can see here the little white dots that I put on the map, like the little chips on the map, that show where each of those elements falls on the map. And we'll be seeing this over and over again in different ways. So we'll start with looking at the coordinates. There are 3 different coordinates, and we divide essentially the wheel in half and look at where the elements fall. For example, here on the horizon coordinate, you can see that all of my elements with Key are falling down in the lower half of the wheel, which is the very earthly realm, very physical, and definitely my relationship with Key was very physical, very tangible. We have the temperature coordinates, which divide the wheel by color, warm colors and cool colors. The warm, energetic side of things, and then the cooler, soothing, calming side. And then we also have the attribute coordinates, which divides the wheel the final way into interpersonal and personal. And we look here to see, what does this tell us about the reading? in my reading with Key, it shows me that it's heavily weighted on the personal. So her relationship with me was soul relationship. I mean, we were tight, very personal. And she also, our relationship had one little aspect of interpersonal, which is that purpose career, me going out into the world and being a veterinarian or now being a coach and channel. All right. Level 3 is the aspects. This is where all the juice is for me. I mean, there was definitely, you could stop at any one of those levels. But level 3 is where really we start to look at how are these elements related. So there are 4 different aspects. The innate aspect, which is just the elements that fall in the same coin or in the same color. The complementary aspects, which I don't have any of here on my map. They would be elements across from each other. So if I had an element up here in the play to flow coin, that would serve a complementary aspect. Or if I had one over here in rest to stillness, that would serve a complementary aspect. That's a really cool aspect that will go into more depth in your reading. So we'll look at that when you have your own. The blended aspect, these are aspects of elements in coins next to each other. Really cool. All of mine are blended aspects here. And this brings some really deep reflection to the blended aspect. And I won't go into that because I will get lost in it. And then the color group aspects. These are looking at the elements that are in the same color group. So whether they're in primary colors or in secondary colors, which mine are secondary color group aspects. Secondary colors are the day-to-day experience, which I would say absolutely. With Key, that was our life, being a young child and having a cat, spending a lot of time with her, adventuring together, playing together. And so it just becomes a very interesting way to look at the overall relationship. And then, of course, going into the actual relationship of each individual element, which I'm not going to do here, but will do in your reading. All right, uncharted territory. The last section of the reading is my favorite. This contains the thresholds, if there are any. The thresholds, they're very interesting. So thresholds are the lines either between the coins, those are the major thresholds, or the minor thresholds that are between the internal and external elements of the human realm. So we look at the natural lines that form between the elements. So here, the natural line is this straight one here, which is joy. And then there is a line here between these 2 elements, nurture and purpose career, to commitment. And so we explore those in a couple of different ways by just adding in the words, joy and commitment, and considering how that worked in my relationship with Key. And we also, one of my favorite ways is to kind of make a sentence. So going from nurture through commitment is purpose career, and vice versa. Purpose career through commitment is nurture. And just really looking at what that means to me. I can tell you, for me, nurture through commitment is purpose career. Nurturing my commitment brought me to my purpose and career. Certainly my purpose career, being committed to it, has been a career of nurturing, whether I look at being a veterinarian, which is a very nurturing career, being a coach, which is a very nurturing calling, and certainly being doing this work with the soul coins and the soul relationship maps is incredibly nurturing. not only to my purpose of helping animals heal their people, but also in helping to find the insight in the relationship, to work and hold the animal and human relationship. It just really nurtures me as well. And there's, of course, so much more here, and I'm going to continue on, not get tempted. All right, the last is the soul symbol, the last piece of the reading. And this, the symbol, I can tell you the feedback that I've had is very emotional. People love these symbols. They just speak to the heart. There's something here that just reveals the wordless nature of the preciousness of our love for our animals and our animals' love for us. So the soul symbol is essentially, on its just surface, the way that it comes about is by traveling through the wheel. So we start in the center with the animal realm, move through the bridge realm to the external personal, to the internal personal, and then out through the spirit realm. And what I do with this symbol is a couple of things. So we experience it, through just looking at it as if we were watching clouds. And what do we see in the symbol? I invite you to draw the symbol with both your dominant hand and your non-dominant hand. And I also invite you to move the symbol, meaning move it like a dance step. Move your body to the symbol, move your hands, draw the symbol in the air with your hands, just really grounding into that. And as we move the symbol or draw the symbol slowly, hopefully, with attention and purpose, we can open ourselves to other messages that come through, whether it's emotion or vision or memories or any sort of experience that comes in is welcome. Even if it doesn't make sense, we can look back later and see how it relates. I hope that example has helped you understand a little bit more about what to expect when you sign up for a reading. If you have more questions, there's more information in the questions about readings on the website. If you're looking at this on the website, then you just want to scroll down a little. And certainly you can always reach out to me with more questions from the contact page on my website, Pet Guided Insight. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to connecting soon.